Welcome to Liverpool fans. Today we've got the latest updates of your beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started. Jürgen Klopp arrives in London to visit AXA training centre and introduce a new tactical revolution. The morning sky above London carried a cold winter mist, the kind that hovered just low enough to blur the distant skyline but high enough to let the city's restless spirit breathe beneath it. Cars rolled through the quiet streets and the city slowly awakened. But the calmness of dawn did not reflect the anticipation growing inside the AXA training centre that day. Football boots tapped against the ground. Staff hurried through corridors. Equipment assistants ran back and forth with bags of fresh balls. A strange mix of tension and excitement filled the air. Word had spread quickly, travelling faster than any official announcement. Jürgen Klopp was coming. Though he had stepped away from management months earlier, his presence still carried a legendary aura. It didn't matter that he wasn't returning as a manager. The mere fact that he would step into a training facility again, especially one connected to his former world, was enough to electrify the entire squad. Some players who idolised him felt a nervous flutter under their training kits. Others simply felt lucky to witness a moment that would likely become part of football folklore. Shortly after 9 in the morning, a black Mercedes van rolled into the entrance. The doors opened and out stepped Klopp, hands in his jacket pockets, glasses slightly fogged from the cold, hair blown by the wind. But his smile, unmistakably warm and full of energy, cut through the chilly air. He looked around, taking in the familiar hum of a training complex coming to life. He had visited many such places throughout his career, but there was something special about this one. It was here, in London, that he had come upon invitation to share something deeply personal. His football ideas, refreshed and reinvented after months of reflection. "Feels like I never left this world," he murmured with a small laugh before greeting the security staff with his usual friendliness. Inside the building, the coaches had already gathered. The head coach stepped forward to welcome him with a firm handshake. "Jürgen, great to see you," he said. "Ah, thank you, Klopp replied, tapping the coach's shoulder. "I hear the boys are ready to work. That's what I like." As they walked through the corridor, Klopp couldn't help but feel a rush of emotion. He wasn't here to make headlines or reclaim a throne. He simply wanted to share something. His latest tactical insights, born from weeks of analysis, quiet thinking, and a relentless love for the sport. When he entered the indoor training hall, the players were halfway through their warm-up. The moment he walked in, one by one, heads turned, whispered reactions rose, smiles spread, and energy shot up like a spark hitting dry wood. Klopp lifted a hand in greeting. "Good morning, boys," he shouted, voice echoing through the hall. A chorus of "Good morning, coach," answered. He laughed at the title. He wasn't their coach today, but the respect in that greeting warmed him. After a brief chat with the technical staff, Klopp asked for the players to gather around the strategy board. They formed a semicircle around him, some sitting, some crouching, all focused. "All right," he began, moving his hands as if conducting an orchestra. "What we do today, it is football, yes, but also something new. I don't want to replace what you already know. I want to add something to it, something that makes you unpredictable." The new tactic he introduced was a hybrid system, an evolution of his beloved gegenpressing, but adjusted for modern demands. More flexible, less physically draining, and more dependent on intelligent positioning. He explained how the front line would create pressure traps rather than constant pressure, how the midfield would stagger their lines to confuse the opposition, how the defenders would initiate attacks by drawing pressure rather than avoiding it. "Football today," Klopp said, "is not just running, it's thinking. You can win with legs, but you dominate with your brain." He placed cones, shifted mannequins, and encouraged players to walk through the movements. His explanations came alive through vivid demonstrations. At one point, he even acted as the opposing midfielder, shuffling sideways dramatically, earning laughs from the players. But every laugh carried learning. This was Klopp's genius, turning complexity into something natural. When the first tactical drill began, the energy transformed. Players moved with sharper intent, listening closely to Klopp's corrections. No, don't run at him. Invite him, he shouted at one player. Yes, exactly. Make him think he has space, then close it. You choose the moment. Another player intercepted a risky pass, and Klopp clapped loudly. Beautiful! That is football intelligence! As minutes turned into hours, the drills grew more demanding. The players embraced the challenge, pushing themselves to adapt quickly. Klopp alternated between intensity and humour, keeping spirits high while insisting on precision. During a short water break, several players approached him. Coach, how do we time the press when the opponent builds wide? What if the defensive line is too deep? Do we reset or step forward? Klopp answered each question with patience and passion. You don't always need perfect timing, he explained. Sometimes you need courage. If one goes, the rest follow. Not blindly, but together. When the break ended, Klopp organised a simulation match. The squad split into two sides, mixing starters and reserves to create balance. Klopp watched from the sidelines, arms folded, occasionally shouting instructions. Shift left, good. Now don't rush the ball, make them come to you. Whenever a player applied the new tactic correctly, he offered enthusiastic encouragement. Whenever someone hesitated or overcommitted, he calmly corrected it. At one point, the defensive line executed the pressure trap movement perfectly, regaining possession and transitioning into a counter-attack within 3 passes. Klopp jumped slightly, clapping with both hands. Yes, exactly. This is what I'm talking about. By the end of the scrimmage, the players were exhausted but buzzing with adrenaline. The progress they made in just a few hours amazed even the coaching staff. Klopp called them in for one final huddle. You worked incredibly hard today, he began, breathing slightly heavier from all the moving and talking. But more important than hard work is understanding. The system only works when you trust each other. Football is never about one player. Never. It is about the group, the connection, the willingness to fight together. He paused, scanning their faces. You have something special here. Use it, respect it, and enjoy your football. If you don't enjoy it, what's the point? The players clapped, some smiling proudly, others still digesting the lessons. As training wound down, Klopp spent time shaking hands, sharing small jokes, and offering personal advice to younger players. For many, this was a day they would remember for the rest of their careers. A day when a football icon took time to guide them, to elevate their game, and to inspire them. Before leaving, Klopp stood for a moment outside the building, hands in pockets, watching the sky slowly brighten as the cold began to lift. He exhaled deeply, feeling fulfilled. Football, he whispered, still feels like home. And with that, he stepped back into the car and left the AXA training centre behind. But the impact of his visit, his wisdom, and his tactical vision would continue shaping the squad long after he was gone.